marble. Terrazzo is here with the hottest decor trend this year. It's She's Crafty's Wendy Russell. Aww. She's back to join me. Wendy! I know, right? This is such a beautiful, it's such a beautiful trend, and you know, I like how you sort of put it in perspective. This is the original upcycling situation.
It's the OG of upcycling.
Right?
This goes back. Terrazzo dates back to Italy like 500 years ago when they were using marble for everything. So
yes.
They were constructing everything out of marble, including, you know, buildings, floors, walls, etc. And they had all sorts of chippings and pieces left over. Yeah. And because everyone was so frugal then, I mean, we're now trying to be that, which yes. is great. It's coming back. But they were so frugal, they were reusing these pieces and pouring them into cement. Mm-hmm. And then it was this great, you know, compound, perfect for floors. So it didn't end up over here until the 70s.
Oh, wow.
When it was really prevalent in interior design, and we kind of haven't seen it since.
That's right. So it's interesting that it's back now, and it makes a lot of sense that this is what they would do, because marble is expensive.
Totally.
And these rare, precious stones,
yep.
right? If you can mix them in with some cement and then gloss that sucker up.
Right? It looks great.
It looks great.
They're upcycling. Yes. And recycling. And right now, what they're doing is they're creating it with new materials. So you're now getting it with bits of metal or bits of glass. The original application when it came to North America was in commercial applications. So you'd see it in convention center floors, right. Some of the really funky, like, hipster hotels have yes. it on the floors and walls and stuff. So you start to notice it everywhere now. You'll see it. So,
well, speaking of funky, yes. you've got it all over here. And so it's in different ways, like the wallpaper, yes. the tray, the knobs. But let's first just give a nod to this amazing
yes,
wallpaper.
The wallpaper was my inspiration for this room set, and it was this is amazing Graham and Brown terrazzo pink. Yeah. They have a couple of different colorways, which is great as well. So that was my inspo. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to make
these are cute
little poles.
Little poles.
And those are just made with polymer clay. We're going to make that in a couple of minutes.
We might not have time to make this, yeah. but this is actually another DIY. Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Which takes me away. Yeah. And so that's my
show us
sort of pop art version of terrazzo.
Okay, so the first thing I was going to ask you is, what did you make these poles out of?
Right. So this is polymer clay. So I pre-cut the clay into small 1 inch by 1 inch cubes, yep. and that's going to be our poles. But you can make them obviously any size. Yeah. I also here's an example. I actually did a round one too to see if it worked, and it totally worked as well. Yeah.
That's smart.
And
okay.
on the back, I've put felt. So it's actually self-adhesive felt that you just cut into pieces, because they actually recommend do not put the polymer clay directly on furniture. It may damage it.
Okay.
The oils or whatever's in it. Yeah. So.
And so all you did was make smaller pieces out of the colors?
So you've got your little.
Oh, I can do my own.
Yes. You've got your little clay tool, and you're really just.
I don't even know what this is.
These are polymer clay tools.
Oh, is this like a little polymer clay knife?
Yes.
Okay.
And you're just randomly cutting tiny little shards as if it were real broken pieces of marble.
Guys, rainy day project for the kids.
Right? This is amazing.
And then when they're done making all the pieces, say smaller.
Right. Smaller. I want smaller.
Do them tiny.
I want faster. No.
You want to keep them entertained for as long as possible.
The great thing is this is so random. There is no rhyme or reason to this, and you literally are just mixing it up, putting it wherever you want.
You actually want the pieces to be as different as possible.
Exactly.
So you get that little, you get that little effect.
Right. So once you have them there, we want to make sure that they are smooth in terms of there's absolutely no dimension to them. So you put a piece of parchment paper over. This came with my little clay kit. So it's just a mini rolling pin that you're going to just roll the top. So you still want to, you know, it's very lightly in terms of pressure, because you want to make sure you don't lose your dimension of your thing. And you can see it's already, you know, moved the piece around in terms of made it nice and flat. So, and you do all of the sides. Then here's the trick. Once you're done filling out all the sides, then you're going to get, these are called breakaway drawer screws, and you can get them at the hardware store. I love these because you can actually break off the pieces if they end up being too long for your particular drawer. So ask for breakaway drawer screws, and you can break off the pieces with the pliers. And so you go to the back, just insert it, probably leave it on the surface, push it in there, nice and slow, probably 3/4 of the way down. And bring it out, because when you have to bake these in order to make them set.
That's what I thought.
So then you're going to put them on a tray in the oven, per the manufacturer's instructions.
Yep.
It's probably like 15 minutes for every 1/4 inch, I believe, on some parchment, on a tray, and facing upwards.
Got it.
Because otherwise it tends to brown the side that's facing down. So, and then that gets
So you bake it, they come out, you have your new hand
and then I would
pulls?
just, I would use like a good adhesive glue, like a really heavy duty glue, either an E6000 or a Weld Bond, something like that. Stick it in there. And
perfect.
You're good to go.
So now you've got your pulls. Can we just really quickly talk about the tray?
The tray.
So you cut all of these little pieces up, and what did you use? Like a good stock, like a good cardstock?
Great. These were $1 at the craft store. They're just scrapbook paper.
Okay. Yeah.
Great. And again, following your color palette, whatever you like. 3 to 4 colors, and then you're just laying them out. Get the kids to cut all the pieces for you. Right? They do all the work. Also good over a bottle of wine with some girlfriends.
Why not?
Right? And and then you just lay it out how you like it.
Yes.
Again, totally random. I've made these really big because it's more pop arty, but you can, you can make them nice and small, like terrazzo inspired if you want, and then you pour resin over top.
Once you have the configuration you need, you mix your own little little resin kit.
Exactly.
Pour it on.
Pour it on, and I covered it with a piece of cardboard so that nothing. No cat hair or other things in my house. Anyways, it's all cat hair.
Yeah.
So no cat hair or bugs or other things are living
stuck in there.
And I got everything at Amazon, all the craft supplies.
Really good projects.